That being said, let's get to the third, fourth place match with a commentary. It's going to be Leaf and Finable Carpet. Take it away, guys.
Well, it may not be a first-place match. It's definitely still an important match. Seeding is actually going to play a big role. We found out yesterday the seeds for North America. Now have a little bit more of a bigger picture on who these guys get to play afterwards. A lot of the European teams saying NRG is kind of that scary shadow coming over from North America. Fourth-place seed will be on that side of the bracket.
They have to also go against an OCE team first off, and third seed, as we know, will get to go against Atelier. I don't know if it's will get to. Has to go against Atelier.
Has to go, yeah.
We see how strong they have been lately. Right now, Northern Gaming bringing in Turbo. I actually like the decision. I think, you know what, there's not a whole lot on the line. While seeding is important, it's not the same as a potential, buy into Season 4 or even like their spot in LAN. So you keep the roster that you've known and loved and that you really know works well. Don't want to split up the Maestro-Remco duo.
Of course.
But now, you want to know how you play with Turbo when there's pressure on the line, or at least when you know you've got big viewership, when you know people are watching you, when you're on essentially one of the bigger stages. Even if it's not a lot of pressure in the individual game itself, it still adds pressure to the player. So I like the idea to put him in now.
You're right. I mean, it gives the practice. You're on the big stage. This means a lot. There's a lot of people watching. The pressure is going to be there to do good and grab your team a great seed. Turbo Pulsing now gets to experience that a little bit. He's had experience at top level for quite a long time. Yeah. And having Turbo, honestly, as a sub, it's like having Pluto as a sub. That's a really good sub to have. We'll see if it pays off for them now, though, as Northern Gaming and the Leftovers drop down into game at number 1 of a best of 7. Leftovers just coming fresh off a loss, ready to set things on the right foot early on.
Sicky with a demo on the Turbo. Talk about a greeting into your first match ever.
Oh, hey, what's going on? See ya.
Yeah, also, you're the reason your team just got that goal, by the way, because you're gone.
Jeez, well, yeah, that's one way to send them a message. Leftovers, early goal, like 7 seconds in.
It's like hazing.
Just welcome to the club, buddy. Northern Gaming's going to have to answer this one quickly. And they might. Nope. No, had a chance to turn it around. Fair's going to find one little hole there to sneak it in, though.
I imagine it would take a game or two for Northern Gaming to feel out playing with Turbo, especially because Remco, Maestro, and Devo have already played earlier today, so they felt each other out. They knew how it was going. It just, whether they're better or worse, no matter who you're adding to your roster, no matter what the change is, you're going to play a little bit different. They're going to have a different pacing. They're going to go for different balls to feel confident in different situations.
It's not even just that. It's that they had a bit of a break. Leftovers are coming fresh off of Series 2. They're warmed up and ready to go.
That is true.
And angry that they're in the spot in the first place. Northern Gaming, a little bit of a break. A new player in. It will take a couple games, but thankfully for them, they've got a best of 7 to deal with that change and getting all warmed up yet again. Leftovers, in the meantime, are going to start off with a, well, pretty good start. 2 goals in the first minute. Haven't grabbed the third, and it looks like Northern Gaming may try to start turning this around as of yet. In their own end still. They're still trying to break out at least. Devo couldn't get that one past the Snasky. There's a waiting Sicky at midfield. Turbo's chance to set that one back. We'll give that possession away to Farah, who will send that deep back into the Northern Gaming end. Now a minute passed since the last goal. Things are slowing down a little bit. Northern Gaming trying to find their footing on defense. And once again, a demo coming up from Sicky. He's ready to send a message to every single one of those Northern Gaming players that gets in his way.
He wants to make sure that they take this win while they have the chance. Knowing that a roster swap has happened, you want to try and take advantage, and they will with this goal wide open. Seemed to be a bit of a hiccup in their rotations here. Devo up. Remco was stealing some boost. Turbo over near Devo as well. Actually couldn't catch him. Somehow managed to look to the wrong side of the field.
I'm just going to ask these guys not to do anything too ridiculously crazy. Flip side has ruined me.
Yeah, you and me, man.
I don't know how you did that last one. I'm still
I don't think
ripperoni
I did.
and pepperoni.
I don't know what I'd call that, but I don't think I did it.
It was a valiant effort there, almost an attempted passing play. Well, it was an attempted passing play, almost a goal there for Northern Gaming as it crosses in front of that Leftovers box. Snasky can't set up another play, trying to grab a 4th goal. Only 2 minutes in so far. They have a convincing lead. Remco a little bit wide of the net. Devo not in a position to put another shot on net. That rebound will head back down into Northern Gaming's end as they have to try again. Turbo again, giving away possession. We'll go to Farah. rockets that one towards the net, and it's going to connect.
After Turbo went for that clear hit, tried to cheat up, maybe grab some boost as well. Remco up on the backboard, expecting the first shot from Siki, but instead, he passed it off to Farah.
Farah will finish, as he did right there. Leftovers grabbing a 4th goal. 2 minutes in. They just came off of an angry flip side match there. You definitely are warmed up pretty well, and it's showing in their play. Coming into game number 1 of this best of 7, Northern almost rocking a play of their own. A pinch out to Devo, might find it. Nope, a little bit wide. A lot of bit wide. Remco will have to try to get it past the Turbo. Sets one on target, stopped out there by a defending leftover. Siki just keeping some pressure now. There's a Snasky to follow it up off the backboard. Farah will turn around, bumps out Turbo as well. Almost resulted in a goal. That will head back down into the leftovers end. Turbo trying to set up a play out. Diva was waiting with an open net there. Remco wide yet again. He's connected with that right pole a couple times. Got to just shift the shots a little bit over to the left. You might have a couple goals on your hand. But they're still sitting at 0 leftovers, currently shutting out Northern Gaming.
Northern Gaming has 4 registered shots, but I know there's been so much more, but the leftovers have somehow been reading the passing plays as well. They're finding themselves in situations where they cut off the second touch, even though they're trying to misdirect. Northern Gaming just can't seem to trick the leftovers.
120 left in at game number 1, and 5 goals for leftovers as they grab another one. It's all about that stat padding, baby.
I think this one's done.
That was a pretty decent ankle shot though. Defender so close to getting that, but I think you're right. I mean, yeah, 5 goals to pull back.
5
minute
goals
19
yeah.
with a new player on your roster might be a little difficult.
And people are always quick to say, oh, they brought a new player on and they lost. You know, the new player sucks or their older player was better. It really does change. Even if you're playing with a player that's supposed to be more mechanically sound or is technically quote unquote better, or worse, it doesn't matter. You run into so many differences in just how they play, how they maneuver around the field.
Oh, you're right.
Knowing where your teammates are is 100% of what makes these teams good.
Chemistry is such an important thing. We've seen it before where powerhouses in a specific region have put together teams and it hasn't worked out. Play styles. Very important, understanding the tendencies of your teammates.
I mean, solo plays just don't really work out nearly as much as they used to, right?
No,
like since
right.
season 1, it's all about passing plays. It's all about redirects and working together as a team and knowing where to touch it. Devo, though, is going to give Farah an opportunity, but he just misses it. 30 seconds left, though. I don't think he's too worried with already 5 goals under their belt.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, either team probably isn't worried about one single goal happening here. And with 20 seconds left, leftovers have this one in the bag. Can they just continue to shut out and destroy Northern Gaming? No, they're going to give up 1. Northern Gaming feels good to at least grab 1, not get shut out, and move into the next game with a goal on your hand.
There's something so satisfying about watching a ball just like nestle into the corner. It's like one of the most satisfying things when it's just perfectly into the corner, watching it almost just hit all 3 sides at the same time between the corner and the post and the crossbar.
10 seconds left now. Northern Gaming not going to be able to pull it back. This is a best of 7. As game 1 just ends there, Leftovers going to take the first point. These guys fighting currently for 3rd and 4th seed, while fighting specifically for the 3rd seed. The winner, the person doesn't grab that 3rd seed will get the 4th, logically. And that will change who they're going to be playing coming into the LAN finals. These teams are all going to LAN at this point. Seeding is important. 4th place seed is going to have to play against an Oceanic team. One of those 2 teams that are going to make it from that region. So excited, by the way, to have those guys in Season 3 in the RLCS. And that is on the side of NRG, the 1st seed coming from North America. A lot of these European teams have been a little scared, not scared, but worried that NRG might be that team from North America to come in and disrupt the EU playstyles. So avoiding that is probably a first thing. I mean, it's still not going to be easy. Whoever gets 3rd place is going to have to play Atelier. Either way, it's going to be a hard matchup. We got a lot of good teams going into the finals.
And a lot of people are trying to figure out where does OCE sit on the skill ladder right now between North America and Europe. And honestly, like as somebody that's watched a lot of Rocket League, it's really hard for me to know exactly where, because as much as you can see how they're faring against teams that they go against all the time, teams in their meta, the moment you clash them together, there could be differences that are unnoticed to an eye until you start seeing positioning. Because a lot of times what I've noticed is the closer to the positioning, when you keep your touches short and together, you generally can make more happen on your side. It's not all just about how awesome you are mechanically or how much you can beat the people you're against. And if there's a gap in OCE's skill in their own ladder, there's a chance they could put up a really good fight. Some people are writing them off. Some people think it's going to be great. Either way, you want to make sure you have a higher seed going into LAN.
Always helpful to have the higher seed. That's what these guys are fighting for, 3rd and 4th place. Game number 1 has finished 5-1 for Leftovers. Great way to start it off. Turbopolsa jumping in for Northern Gaming. One of the main roster players wasn't able to come in. Maestro having to sit this one out. But it's good experience now. They're going to be using him for the LAN. Sicky's going to grab the first goal again for Leftovers.
And there it is, Turbo finding himself in no man's land, but it might be up to Remco on that miss. He really didn't have anyone directly contesting him, no immediate danger. He still felt pressured, still reacted too quickly, didn't make the touch, and it left Turbo in a tight spot.
20 seconds in, we'll see if Leftovers can start the steamroll we saw in game number 1 of Northern Gaming. Is going to be able to pull this one back. It is a best of 7. You have to win 4 to be able to take the series instead of what we do in all league play with 5s and 3 wins. Best of 7. Northern Gaming has plenty of time to figure it out. You don't want to give too much time to your opponents. Really gain confidence on the field. Trying an attack here. Remco really just trying to get possession. He buys time for Devo. We'll move in. Turbo was up preemptively. Maybe should have stayed up. He's still going to get a goal off of it, though. Sicky not home. Can't get to it in time. Turbo going to grab a goal for Northern Gaming.
Slow and steady. He went up for that first shot, but recovered nicely, jumped right off. Just make sure he got the nice angle, put the pace on, and it wasn't terribly fast, but with a wide open net at that point, you're looking at location. You want to make sure it's high enough. Location. You want to make sure it's high enough to where the defender has to work for it, and fast enough to where they can't get there in time.
Hey, he did all those things.
Hey,
Northern Gaming has a goal now.
Checkbox.
Leftovers have given up a goal because of it, all tied up in the first minute. Looking a little bit better for Northern Gaming. They found the back of the net pretty early. There's Turbo on the wall to send this one deep down into the Leftovers territory. Nice push to the side by Snasky. He's lucky there wasn't an awaiting Northern Gaming player there to make a read off it, though. Look at that, almost a dunk from Remco as he flies in pretty confidently. Ooh, that's a rough spot. Turbo might be able to get a pass out off the backboard. He does. There's Farah in the way, though. It will send a pinch from Remco as he flies in to get a dunk again. Devo, nice little drift turnaround. We'll get possession of it. Takes out Sicky as well. That'll be a chance for a teammate to move in. Turbo, maybe not expecting that as well. We'll have to be a little bit too behind on that play.
Oh, man. Snasky getting there just in time, but Turbo is going to try and maintain this pressure. Again, usually 1 or 2 shots coming from both teams at a time. 5 shots for Northern Gaming, but only a single shot for Leftovers, and it was the shot that went in.
Devo just trying to be a nuisance there as he moves on to offense, still tied up. Approaching the 2.5-minute mark. Sicky demoing mid-air on Remco. It doesn't matter. Northern Gaming's like, we'll keep it up here. Devo and Turbo making some work. Out in that corner of Leftovers end of the field. Eventually that demo catches up to them. They'll have to move back to their own end. No punish, though, from the Leftovers. They won't be able to get a play started. Turbo, last defender, has a lot of time. He just wants some boost, though. Devo ready for a pass up the wall. Look how preemptive they got. Snasky trying to intercept that play, though, as they try to move the field. We'll get in the way of it. Moving to midfield. A lot of good plays back and forth there. At least see a lot of setups. A lot of blocks there. No finish there from Sicky. He tries to get a bottom on it, and somehow that still goes in.
He still got it. Just watch him. Watch only Sicky. Don't even watch the ball. He manages to get this touch, lands on the post. He's like, I got it. No! Just reaches out, double jumps off the post, follows it through. Sicky!
That was so sick.
Sicky! That's all I can do.
He did it. That was a great shot off the wall, the inside of the opponent's net. Grabbing them a goal into the lead. Doing it in style. Northern Gaming is going to have to answer with that. They have to do it with style, too, or it doesn't count. Style points are metric in this. Sicky, though, says no time for you to get an answer to that. Well, let's gain a little bit more of a lead.
What happened to Devo? Oh my God, Farah wrecked him. I was wondering why Devo was flying. Farah destroyed Devo. I was like, why is Devo already up in the air? Completely wrecked him, sending him across the map. You saw him trying to boost towards the ground to recover. but alas, it still goes in. Now 2 goals up. The Leftovers are looking to try and take the series early.
Hey, 2 minutes left. Northern Gaming has a lot of time to try to answer both of those goals. Unless Leftovers keep up what they're doing. Doing a pretty good job of playing it creatively. It's catching Northern Gaming off guard here. Farah will move back and allow Snasky to move in. Ooh, he grabs it, but Devo says, get out of my end. Turbo needs to take the ball back down to yours. That's exactly what happens. He's got Remco with him, a pass to him. Can't get it past Snasky, though. He interferes with that play. Devo going for that hard clear. He saw Farah and Snasky both creeping up, maybe hoping for a chance to get past 2 of the defenders. Creating an attack. The angle almost going in, just crossing that goal line. Defender will be there to send it to the side. Still an attack with a minute left now for Northern Gaming. Game number 2, Leftovers have the first one under their belt. Series is by far nowhere near over. It's Northern Gaming trying to at least get 1 more goal in the early last minute of play here. That could be a chance. Remco, rocket off the backboard. Snasky to the side. Turbo right over to Remco. There's Farah. Look at Leftovers defense intercepting every single passing play for Northern Gaming.
They are not hesitating on a single decision. They are there to intercept every single play, every single shot, every backboard bounce. They're there. Even if they double dedicate, they recover quick enough to where they don't have to get punished.
Recovery, very important for anybody at this level of Rocket League. It's the speed of the game just continues to grow and grow and grow. With 7 seconds left, 2 goals in the lead. Leftovers going to grab themselves a second point in the series. We'll head into game number 3 with Northern Gaming. Not a single win yet.
This is how they started off with the flip side. 2 wins up.
Yep.
And it ended up being their demise. Leftovers like to do reverse sweep style games.
Whether it's for or against them.
But right now, it seems like Devo and Remco are really just trying to feel out Turbo Pulsar, trying to figure out where he places himself. And also, I mean, we're talking about how your team's going to play with a new guy. But think about the new guy in the roster, right? He has to now, as someone that's not terribly accustomed to how you guys play in tournament play, in league play, and when there's intensity on the line, and you guys really want to make sure that you can perform at your highest, he now has to try and read the 2 guys that have been performing together. Like all season, Devo and Remco, they know how each other plays at this point. Generally, it's the Maestro Remco, but I mean, we know that these 3 guys all work well together. I mean, they're one of the top teams going in all the way through league play. They were always battling for one of those top spots. So, I mean, Turbo Pulsar also, you're going to see more hesitation because he just doesn't know where those 2 are going to be at all times without thinking.
I mean, there's that, first off, and you're also up against a team, Leftovers, who came into league play just swinging right off the bat.
Yeah.
Caught everyone by surprise, and I mean, they're still a good team. I know. I think it's like Gibbs is still like, I don't know how they'll do. But honestly, I'm convinced with the Leftovers at this point.
That was a good Gibbs impression. Sounded just like him.
What is it? Potato, potato, potato.
Oh man,
something like that. Either way, Leftovers honestly are still doing a good job of keeping up that image of we got what it takes to be at the top, and. Like, they had a lot of saves there. It wasn't like Northern Gaming had a lack of shots in the last game.
Their defense was on point.
Yeah, but they were still able to grab 3 goals themselves. Both ends of the field, these guys are pretty strong. Keeping that close of a series to Flipside Tactics as well, after they just came off a series that they are angry about. I mean, it's a testament to the Leftovers' abilities.
Oh, 2 up, and Siggy still had the gall to go up for that, even though 2 of his defenders had gone up, and now alone, Turbo and Remco are going to face that together.
Although committing a little bit too much, that roll or spin on the ball will be in their favor. Just puts it a little bit off target. So it buys a little bit of time for Leftovers.
Nice little doot.
Snasky to no one in the corner. His teammate Sicky was heading back for a boost, realized he needed to be a part of the play, moves back to midfield. Farah does exactly the same twice. We've had Leftovers trying to go for that corner boost in their own end. Someone finally got it. That'll allow them to put on tack. With the fact that they're able to keep that midfield pressure while still starting to run out of boost, they're going to be able to turn that into a goal, and that's why they're able to have so much pressure.
This came off the wall a bit faster than I think Turbo expected. Oh, what? Wait, he didn't even touch that.
He didn't even touch that one.
That, I'm not going to lie, that was weird. I've seen some things, and that was one of the weirder things I've seen.
Things are getting weird up in here. Leftovers. Don't care, though. They're going to take advantage of it, grab a goal. They're up 2-0 in the series, fighting for 3rd place seed loser of the series, which at this point Northern Gaming is losing.
Uh-oh.
Almost double tap in your own net. We'll get the 4th place seed. Be on the bracket side of an OCE team and NRG. Off the backboard, leftovers have to be careful there. They're gonna make a move down the other end. Turbo Pulse to intercept any kind of advance midfield. He's got the ball, 1 player to beat. Not too shabby, Turbo, just a simple little flick. And he's gonna grab them a goal.
If you look at how he approached this, Sicky had to come from left to right. He really couldn't challenge it. So Turbo essentially had all the room in the world. He actually played it a little too safe. All he did was really pop it and put a little more forward momentum on it, but he could have easily put it behind him to the left or a little bit further away to the right. He opted for even simpler, just forward.
Just that direction. I mean, it worked out for them. He's got a couple goals for his team, almost a dunk there as Sicky falls from the sky. Farah trying to get out of the play. Snasky will move it instead. Sicky ready for a passing play. Touch from Diva will send Sicky back to his own end. He'll be ready to intercept before that play develops for Northern Gaming. We're all tied up in this game, 3 minutes left. Nice passing play from Turbo and Remco. Turbo just chasing down Farah right now, wasting all of his boost. He'll be out of the play for a minute. Could be rough because I don't see any 100s in their end. They'll have to get a hard clear. Nice bounce clear there. Able to at least buy some time for him to move back and grab some boost. We'll see if leftovers take advantage of the situation. Northern Gaming slowly trying to break it out of their own end. A nice little wall stop there. Pinch from Devo will send that down into leftovers end. A follow up. Does he have enough boost? He does, but a little bit wide on the shot. Can't get the wheels to put that in the right direction. Turbo will keep the dream alive as he moves into the corner. Just a slight misread on where that ball was going to go, and leftovers now have another chance of their own. Still tied. A minute later, 2 minutes left now, game number 3.
That right there, the last drive between Turbo and Remco, that was the hesitation you're going to see. Remco wanted to go for it. Turbo looked like he was going for it. They both noticed it at the same time. They both kind of stopped and hesitated, and then it seemed like Remco was like, no, 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 you got it. Show me what you got. But by then, Turbo, it was too hard for him to read it off that sidewall, and those are the tiny little hiccups that you're going to run into early on in the roster, but better to choose now to do this than at LAN.
1:40 left in this game, still tied up. Northern Gaming looking for the first win in the series. Ooh, weird stop there, but it will set it down for Sicky. Farah waits for a pass up from him. Snasky's going to wait back on defense. He sees a chance now for Northern Gaming to set themselves on attack. Nice bounce up from the corner. We'll let Snasky move that the other way. Gets the touch off the backboard, creating an opportunity from a mistake from Northern Gaming.
I look like Remco dropped this. No, Remco couldn't get there in time either. That's the second time we've seen a ball go untouched off the backboard or the side.
And this is how punishing this level of Rocket League is. We've seen it, as you just said, twice now. The second you make one mistake, you get scored on. Both those mistakes have been punished now by the leftovers and resulted in goals. With 1 minute left, leftovers just have to hold on to this lead. They'll set themselves at match point, giving themselves a pretty good spot to be ready to take that 3rd place seed. Always better to have that higher seed. A couple extra bucks as well. Ain't too shabby. 50 seconds for Northern Gaming to follow this one back up in the air. We had Sicky, Farah trying to keep that alive. Remco with Devo, couldn't get over to him. There's Turbo to bring up the rear. The redirect. Great play, great move up the field from Northern Gaming to even this one up.
Simple yet satisfying. Remco found himself in a good spot almost immediately. Turbo Pulse was seeking him out. He jumped before he could even really adjust while driving on the ground, and he took the opportunity with 39 seconds left, tying up the game.
That's what I like about Turbo. He's been looking for his teammates, making sure to get those passes. He's aware. He's smart on the field. Again, maybe a sub, but he's a good player. Now they're all tied up against the leftovers. Leftovers do have 2 wins. 1 goal could grab it. Northern Gaming won though, 20 seconds left. See if they can make the drive here. That's the wrong end to do that. Remco not gonna get that one past Snasky, sends that one over to Farah. He'll back off. Devo had the clear. Remco, Turbo Pulse waiting at midfield for any kind of chance of a clear here from the leftovers. 5 seconds left. Still a scoring chance. That drops in front of the box.
Oh!
Sicky gonna put one away with 1 second left. Northern Gaming gonna have a very difficult time answering that one.
The leftovers pull it up with a dunk from Farah on Turbo Pulse. Bounced right in front. Sicky reads it well. 1 second left. We haven't seen any less than 6 games. We might see a sweep right here, Leaf.
This will be different. You're right. I mean, it's been a long series right now. That will end with 1 second left, as I said. Not very easy to create any kind of play off of that one. Leftover is going to grab a 3rd point at match point now to be able to grab that 3rd place spot. Not too bad against Northern Gaming. Again, we said it, Turbo Pulsa, pretty good player. I think he's been near the top of the scoreline for his team for almost every single game here. He's coming in, it's all right, but you're right. The place, it's just so hard to really get a lot of things formulated when you have a new player jumping in like that. Still doing a pretty decent job on the pitch. I mean, it's only been that was a 1-goal game, fairly close games. Doing a decent job, except for the first one. That was kind of a blowout there. But Leftovers have been getting answered a little bit now by Northern Gaming. Reverse sweeps can happen.
Yeah. I mean, if you just look at the shots alone for that game right there, 9 shots for the Leftovers, 7 shots for Northern Gaming. So pretty similar, especially considering that scoreline of 3-2, and saves as well. 4 saves for Leftovers and 5 saves for Northern Gaming. So they're playing toe-to-toe right now. It seems that maybe they're starting to kind of adjust it where Turbo Pulsa might be playing, or maybe he's just playing that more kind of backline. Generally, the better thing to do when you have a new roster, or if you have at least one new person in your roster, is you let the 2 guys that know each other, let them try and make the plays happen. You fill in the slot that you need. You take that final shot when they've been driving for a good 20 seconds and they've broken up their defense into an oblivion. You're the one that takes the last defense when you realize these guys are so good at moving from defense to offense together. And you kind of fill that 3rd role until you feel more comfortable taking on your own skin.
Oblivion. That's such a destructive word. I like it. Very descriptive. I like it. First goal, though. Turbo Pulsa ain't going to give him any time. Look at that. 6 seconds in. Might have been one of the fastest goals we've seen today for EU. That's a good start.
I mean, that was just all about positioning. He caught himself on the other side of the net, knowing they had to clear it over there. A lot of it is trying to predict where's your opponent have to put it. You know he had to put it from right to left, and you know that he had to make sure that it wasn't in front of the net, but he only did one of those options, and he put it right in front of the net.
That's a good option to go with. Northern Gaming sitting up 1-0 now on the Leftovers. We've seen them score a lot before. We'll see if they can do that in this game. Game number 4, Leftovers at match point now. It's a best of 7. You need 4 wins. There's a demo on Turbo. Says, please don't score on us again, or I will do this to you. See if Northern Gaming can recuperate. They're going to take another shot. Turbo right at it again after that demo. Snasky with a hard clear. Farah can't get there in time. Devo will be able to take control of this. This guy's a beast when it comes to being able to control the ball.
That was nice.
Can't get it past Snasky, though. 1 minute pass so far. Northern Gaming with that early goal. We'll see if they can extend it here. Turbo sets that towards the net. Snasky forced. Not sure if that's going to go into a defensive maneuver. We'll flick that one to the side. Devo to Remco. A pop in the air. A finish from him. He tries. That Remco recorrect, a little bit too low. Sicky will be able to steal it away from him. Farah getting bullied out of the way. Ball will go to the hands of Remco. Drops it to Turbo. Turbo sets that one high, out of the reach of any of his teammates, though. Leftovers should be able to take possession. Off the backboard, a miss there. Devo trying to punish. There's a turnaround quickly from Remco as Turbo holds that midfield. He comes flying in, though. Tries to take that one off his teammate. Pops it in front of the net. Sicky to clear it to the side. 2 minutes approaching on this. A second goal almost coming up from Northern Gaming. They've started to ramp up their offense quite a bit here. We haven't seen a lot of chances. 4 Leftovers down in that blue end. Because Northern Gaming a little bit strong coming into game number 4.
The Leftovers again with the rock-solid defense, placing so many to the corner and trying to read these passing plays from Northern Gaming.
Farah to a teammate, Snasky, sort of interrupted by Devo, but it does drop down for a 50-50 to Farah. They don't really create anything out of that. Snasky, can he get into Sicky? Not quite. Turbo will get in the way. Both teams doing a really good job of contesting any kind of attempt from their opponents, killing out a lot of these plays before they can really fully develop. Farah last out on the line of defense there. Snasky was hoping for a pass up to him. He'll move back into position. Sicky with the clear chance. He'll pass that one up to a teammate. Farah almost sneaks that in the far corner. Great passing play. Almost a snipe show there. Farah can't find the angle he wanted, though, as that ball crosses the goal line. Northern Gaming still Only 1 goal scored in game number 4. 1 goal unanswered. Leftovers still looking to be able to tie this one up. Off the backboard, Turbo has a chance. Farah is going to grab that touch instead.
Going to be giving up possession to the Leftovers. And we're seeing right now Northern Gaming trying to stifle all of Leftovers' opportunities in their half.
That's a shot. Ooh! Almost off of everything, including one of the defending players, Turbo Pulsa. Just barely manages to put that one into the corner. Siki trying again, but Remco's going to be blocking out, adding a little bit of extra length to that goalpost. Turbo, air dribble himself, will find the net. Siki can't get there in time. 2-goal lead now. Could be a chance for Northern Gaming to pull back the series.
Again with another 1v1. Turbo noticing Farah has to commit now. And I do like that Farah committed because he knew Siki was coming across. That was just a matter of a fraction of a second pacing.
1:28 left. In game number 4, Northern Gaming is yet to grab a win. This could be the one, or the start to a series of wins for them. Leftovers at match point. 3 goals, they can grab themselves the 3rd place seed. Not 3 goals, and well, they're gonna have to try again next game. 1 minute now as Leftovers starting to put on attack. Stesky can't find his teammate on the far side. Siki will be back on the wall, coming off the side. You just turned into a werewolf?
I mean, yeah.
Fantastic, Remco with a shot at net, extending the lead, and looks like game number 4 is gonna be in the hands of Northern Gaming.
I want to keep an eye on Farah. Yeah, he got smashed by Turbo. Farah tried to come off the ceiling of the goal, but now with 3 goals up, only 51 seconds. Leftovers might be facing match point, but Northern Gaming are starting the climb.
The climb ain't gonna be easy. Leftovers took them 5-1 in game number 1. Quite a devastating loss, but it looks like Turbo started to warm up to his teammates here. That's exactly what we were all looking for. We want a good series at hand. No sweeps, please. Everything best of 7, 20-minute overtimes. 30 seconds left, Northern Gaming, game number 4. And Northern Gaming has this one in the books now. Leftovers seem to have met their match, but they'll have the upper hand coming into the next one. They know what Northern Gaming's been pulling off. They can try to make the adjustments. Adapting is key at high-level Rocket League. Hard to do mid-game, but they got 60 seconds in between this game and the next. That's where they need to start communicating.
1 game now in favor of Northern Gaming. Turbo slowly finding his place with these two. And I'm sure they played before. I actually, there's no way I can say how much they have played before.
I've seen them playing a couple times at community events. And I'm sure they've been screaming a little bit, but I mean, they obviously have played together before, and it's showing now that they have some sort of chemistry. They just kind of had to mix it up properly, and I think they've done that now. Turbo actually was playing pretty good since game number 1. I mean, rough start. I mean, getting demoed, Leftovers come in to send a message.
Yeah.
Demo him, demo your teammates, take you out, grab a bunch of goals. Good start for Leftovers, but it doesn't mean anything if you can't finish. They're 1 game away from finishing and grabbing that 3rd place spot, but now Northern Gaming, as you just said, is starting to attempt that climb back to a reverse sweep. Even harder to do in a best of 7, because you're at match point for a much longer time.
Yeah, and when I say both teams are playing kind of that safe game, you have 9 shots to 11 shots, 11 in favor of Northern Gaming. That is just a high shooting game in general, and 9 shots with no goals isn't too great for the Leftovers. Northern Gaming is kind of finding their groove rotation as well on defense, but it's really hard to say what needs to happen. I think Leftovers, they got a little quieter this game, which is kind of obvious. They didn't get any goals. But again, both teams playing safe when they need to. It's really hard to figure out exactly what's going on because it does keep kind of bouncing back and forth.
Yeah, no, I mean, at this level, we talk about Europe being so close.
Yeah.
It was a good example right here. All these games today have been back and forth, almost everything going to a game number 7, and potentially seeing that now. Northern Gaming has woken up. Turbo Pulsa has found his footing, and they're doing a good job of breaking through any kind of intercepting that Leftovers were doing before on their plays, and they're finding each other. A lot of great passing plays from Northern Gaming. That's what they need to keep up. That's what they have to do if they want to be able to pull this reverse sweep off. Game number 5, both these teams fighting for 3rd place. Couple extra bucks. Of course, the better seeding, very important coming into the LAN. As Remco tries to get an early goal now for Northern Gaming. Starting off on the right foot, Always feels good, man. Devo, pass out to Remco off the backboard. That's a chance there if Turbo Pulse can get enough power on it. Snasky's going to greet that one to the side. And you mentioned it before, but Leftovers have been doing a very good job of making sure any of their defensive touches are going to the corner. They're going away from any kind of chance for Northern Gaming to get a goal. Shutting it down. You just saw how many attempts Northern Gaming had on shot. Only one registered shot on that net. You saw how many times they tried. Oh, and will this bounce right in?
Farah.
There to Fitjinx to finish that one off. 1 minute in, very close call. The defender almost had that. Had Farah not been, though, Remco would have been able to get that save, but Farah says, no, 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 sir. Our turn to grab the first goal.
And that's when you talk about limiting the options of your defender. Remco had legitimately no other option with the position that he was in. He had to try and push it out of the net. It already was on target, which just left Farah in with only one option. Puts it right back in.
1 minute has passed so far. Leftovers grabbing that first goal. They're at match point right now. They can hold on to this 1-goal lead. They will have themselves a third place spot. Northern Gaming right now just joining in, testing out Turbo Pulse and Maestro. Couldn't make it. His car in for repairs right now. Good time to test it out. Though all these teams have qualified for LAN. They're all secured. They're all going to LA. But it's the seeding that's important at this point. Third and fourth, they're fighting for. Turbo to follow through. Try to get a pass out to a teammate. Remco is forced into the play. There will be Devo just to keep the pressure on. Watching Farah take his time. Remco opted for boost instead of the pressure. Turbo will have to try to keep it up at midfield. He doesn't. Rolls by him. Back to their own end. Northern Gaming goes. Looking to answer that first goal. They have a point in the series. Leftovers have 3. Oh, somehow that managed to get in there. Farah just couldn't get that one out. Very close.
I think that came off Snasky.
That came off of everything.
Oh, yeah, that was orange. That was orange before it even got to Snasky.
I actually got confused for a second because I saw Turbo in the goal line, but I'm like, he didn't touch that for a while. What a goal from a pitch.
Well, I mean, the goal's a goal, right? Northern Gaming's not complaining.
I'm sure they're not. 2.5 minutes approaching. They finally tie it up with that. Turbo's like, yeah, calculated. No problem. Devo steals that one away from the box. Cross not going to occur for the Leftovers. They'll have to try again down at their own end. Ooh, a drop down that from Remco. Unfortunately, neither of his teammates were ready for that. Devo to Turbo. Remco's there instead. Off the crossbar. Need a little more accuracy than that if you want to put a goal in. Could have been the lead for them. Instead, Leftovers have a chance for a counterattack. They can't grab possession quick enough. Sicky off the wall, trying to get that back to Snasky. He's going to put off the backboard first. There's Turbo. Over to the corner. Almost following his own. He'll be a little bit short of that as Farah moves that back onto offense. Missed the demo there. Devo just barely dodging that. Turbo trying to get this out of his own end. He's having difficulties doing that, but he draws out Sicky. Snasky's not falling for that. Remco getting a booty touch past Snasky. Turbo turns right back around. Farah might center this one for Remco. Just a little bit ahead of that. Can't get the flip to put it in. We're still tied up with 1:30 left. Leftovers are still at match point.
They're making a couple more hiccups here on defense, but now a hard clear. They have also done just as good a job on offense. Both teams, again, playing the safe game. Only 1 goal to 1. Relatively low-scoring games outside of that first game.
No finish there, or will it? Remco stopped out by Snasky. Flat dominance, just stopping in his tracks. Nice hard clear from Turbo. Can he finish it up? Misses the boost, unfortunately. Devo's there for a shot, though. Sicky ready on the goal line to stop that one out. 1 minute left now. Leftovers need 1 goal. And then to hold on to it, and they will be able to secure themselves a 4-1 win over Northern Gaming. Northern Gaming looking for that reverse sweep. They need 1 goal to grab that for them, and still a long journey ahead of them. I'm sure Leftovers thinking about their plays super carefully right now. They don't want to commit to anything that would give Northern Gaming an upper hand on this field. Almost a chance there as they try to make an attack. 30 seconds left, and the Leftovers trying to make some moves. They have been on offense, but a chance now for Northern Gaming to move back down the other way. As Remco in the air gets that first touch. Miss from Turbo, might be able to get a pass out to Remco. The finish, Defender can't stop it. Snasky gets a little touch, but not enough. And Northern Gaming, with 16 seconds left, grabs himself the leading goal.
Sicky was unprepared for that touch from Turbo Pulsar off the wall. He's starting to seek out his teammates. He's starting to know where his buddies are. Remco in to finish the deal now. 1 goal up, 16 seconds left. Continuing the climb for the potential reverse sweep.
10 seconds left. Leftovers could still do this. You have until that ball touches the ground after 0 seconds to be able to grab yourself another goal. But while they're on the wrong end of the field, Devo gonna fake that one out, of course. Dropping it down, grabbing themselves a win. Northern Gaming, a second win in the series to start that reverse sweep. Turbo Pulse is happy about that one. I think he's just happy to play right now. And they grab another win. Look at that. Again, Turbo doing a lot of work for his team. And I love to see that they're connecting right now. That bodes well for them coming into the LAN. The fact that they're able to do this well against the Leftovers, who just came off a pretty good game against Flipside Tactics. All of EU so close. Northern Gaming 2 games away, whereas the Leftovers are 1 game away from that 3rd place spot.
I'm really happy to see how well Turbo's already fitting in with this team. And I think it goes on also Remco and Devo being able to separate, space out, and let Turbo come in certain opportunities.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, the fact that they're communicating so well, and that's important to a team. Communication. I know we have a couple teams here. I actually point out like Sicky, K-Dop, a couple players that are quieter than the teams, and I think a lot of these guys are starting to learn the importance of communication. How important it is to not double up on people. Let your teammates know what you're doing, even if it's the simplest stuff. I'm grabbing boost right now. I'm not a part of the play. I'm demoed, whatever. All those things is so important to be able to communicate, and even just with, I guess, your body language with the car. Being able to make sure your teammates know what you're doing. And right now, Northern Gaming has fit Turbo pretty well into their rotations.
That game, some unorthodox goals went in there. It was 6 saves to 6 saves, so they both played. Yeah, there was some really weird stuff that happened during that game. But you got to be prepared sometimes, and sometimes stuff's just going to go right by you. There's not much you can do to stop it. But now, 2 games to 3, Northern Gaming trailing by a single game in the series.
See if Northern Gaming can do it. They know what we went through earlier. They're like, no breaks for you. We're going to another game 7. Get hyped, get ready. Leftovers at match point. Still, that hasn't changed at all. Northern Gaming needs 2 wins. They're off to an early attack here if the Leftovers are. With Snasky the only one in there, they're not really going to create anything out of it. Remco tried to pull that one out of their end. Sicky might have a chance here, sets that low. Snasky with a second touch. A beautiful recorrect as he goes in, sees his teammate, grabs it, gets a second flip to be able to get the power on it to put it in.
I just love that he tried, and then he's like, oh no, wait, Sicky's got it. He's like, oh no, wait, Sicky had a bad touch. Oh no, wait, I'm here. He had to decide what to do like 3 times in a row within 2 seconds.
I don't even think it was 2 seconds. It was such quick decision making. Snasky grabbing a nice goal there. The first one for the Leftovers. We didn't see anything like the first one in the last game, but Northern Gaming were able to pull it back and grab a win off of it. We'll see if that happens. Same story in this one. Devo to back off, but he's going to put the pressure on as Sicky tried to put that towards the net. He actually makes a pass to Farah. Sicky dropped down to Snasky. Needed the boost first. Farah and Snasky, 2-man attack. Misser from Devo forced Turbo into the play. Farah just going to bring back to their own end for a little bit of a reset. Sometimes that's the smartest thing to do. Put it into your own end ain't always the worst idea. Does exactly that. As we try to create another attack, Northern Gaming now set on defense. Another miss there, 2 misses coming out from Northern Gaming in a row, 3 total in the past minute. Very uncharacteristic, not what you want to be doing in a situation like this, especially when the Leftovers are at match point and they're up a goal in the game. Minute and a half passed so far, Northern Gaming has yet to answer.
They really just aren't following each other touches up on defense. I don't think they're fully comfortable right now. They're having a lot of pace coming out of their half. They have 0 shots right now on target, where the Leftovers already have 4 shots and a goal.
Remco put that one to the side, didn't have any real imminent danger in front of his net. Played it slow. 3 minutes left. They have lots of time to be able to answer this back. They don't have to do anything ridiculously crazy. Ball in no man's land. Sicky just with a power clear. Not the best touch there from the defender of Northern Gaming. Turbo once again finds himself as a lone man in defense. Farah can't create anything out of it. That's okay. Northern Gaming will have everybody reset. Try for an attack of their own. breaking out of their own end, a little bit difficult at this point. Farah is just absolutely everywhere, getting in their faces, but a good passing play will set one on target. Sicky kills that dream quickly. Turbo beaten out by Sicky. The speed on him to get that ball past to Turbo Pulsa. Farah will opt back for that midfield, hopefully one in the boost. There's Remco going to take advantage of that situation. He moves in quick, recognizing Farah's mistake. Farah always at midfield, though, trying so hard to be the spark that the leftovers need to grab another goal, grab the cushion. One goal isn't really enough. One simple pinch like we saw Turbo get last game could even this game up. Remco sets that towards the net, just a little off target. Turbo trying to set up a play now for his team, and they still have yet to answer. So we're getting into 2 minutes, just under 2 minutes. Northern Gaming yet to get a goal of their own. Leftovers trying to hold off on their own end. Play slowing down a little bit here. Both teams trying to just recuperate on their rotations. See how fast Northern Gaming do that. Getting an attack of their own as one comes in from leftovers. Minute 30 now. Leftovers looking to hold off pretty well at this point as the pace has slowed down. Grabbing another one. That's the cushion they are looking for. Now 2 goals up with a minute 17 left. Northern Gaming looking to not get that 3rd spot.
Shot by shot, they dismantled Northern Gaming slowly to the point where Turbo was left in a situation where all he could do was try and demo the player that had possession. He was unable to reach him, and I left the net wide open for Farah, and the nice solo play.
There it is, final minute approaching. Northern Gaming's gonna have to make some moves. They might find themselves in that 4th place seed. Sicky gonna get credit for that one. A demo, explosions everywhere, and an own goal there, I think from Remco. As Northern Gaming now finds himself at a 3-goal deficit.
They really are starting to take off. 7 shots for the leftovers and only 2 for Northern Gaming. Uncharacteristic of them, but it seems that the leftovers have figured out this series.
There it is, 3 goals for them to pull this one back. Northern Gaming trying to get this reverse sweep. They grabbed 2 games out of the series as we ended up in game number 6, but that might be the end of the road for them, ending up in that 4th place seed if they can't grab. 3 answers now. This could be a chance here. Devo moves in for 1. Snasky with a flick up, forces Turbo into the play. Sicky moving in quick. We'll move that ball back to midfield. Nothing crazy has to happen for the leftovers now. They just have to make sure they're contesting everything, stopping any kind of advancement from Northern Gaming. Northern Gaming, on the other hand, have to put everything into this. They got to move everything onto offense when they go there and everything to defense when the ball ends in their end. There's a shot. Turbo moving in quick. 1 goal, 18 seconds left. 2 goals can happen. Leftovers have to be careful.
Starting with a complete whiff from Remco. Devo then, instead of being able to follow up with the play, went for a pass off that backboard. And Turbo Pulsa, there he is, being that 3rd man, letting his 2 teammates that know each other well play off of each other and feed off of each other. And he's just there to fill the role.
10 seconds left now. Leftovers, 2 goals up. Looking like this should be it for them. Remco tries to keep it alive, and Sicky's gonna dash that right there. Leftovers, gonna grab your 3rd place seed for the LAN Season 3 RLCS, and Northern Gaming gonna end up in that 4th place seed. They're all gonna LAN, they gotta be happy, but again, seeding, a little extra money. Congratulations to Leftovers.
And Northern Gaming got a bit of a taste of this roster. This is the roster they will need to continue with towards LAN. The unfortunate news that Maestro will not be able to attend LAN, but you know, they're looking at a position where they were able to get it a good taste. It does look strong when it is up. It's one of those, if you can fix the mistakes you do have, you're going to be just as dominating as they potentially have been in the past. I mean, obviously, Maestro, huge shoes to fill, and I think Turbo knows that. He's been there for a while, and you always have to prepare. Hey, what if I need to play? So I'm sure he's been keeping on his grind, trying to make sure that he's just as good. But congratulations to Leftovers, putting themselves in the higher seed. That is the 3rd seed for them, a team that came in expecting to not get any wins, and now here they are.
You're right, and I think that's the bright side for Northern Gaming. Look, you got some practice in. As you said, the roster you'll be using going forward, but again, congratulations to the Leftovers, getting that 3rd place, Northern Gaming in 4th. That means we have 1 more match for you guys. You're not going to want to miss it. Tell you about that is going to be the desk, and I think you and I need a little bit of a rest and a stretch.
Thank you, Leaf. And finable carpet, and congrats to the Leftovers, securing 3rd place in the European Regional Championships. Northern Gaming coming into today as the #1 seed. I swear, the European region is so topsy-turvy. From the last week, like teams trying to get into the top 6, and now in the regional championships, we have the #1 seed dropping down to finish in 4th place. So we'll stay tuned to that and the turbo change as we get closer to the World Championships. But we do have the Mobile One high performance replay for you from that match as we recap the Leftovers taking out Northern Gaming.
Yeah, it's a tough one for Northern Gaming. All these teams are so tight, as we've seen all day. 6 games or 7 games for every single series. And it seems like subbing in Turbo was not the right move, at least for the 3rd place spot. But he did get some experience. But again, I don't know if that experience matters much because a live event is completely different.
Yeah, is it worth it? That's going to be the question. And we'll find out day 1 of the World Championship because they're going to have to play that first day against a team from OCE. So being that #4 seed, they're going to have to do that. But Northern Gaming, they lost more times today than they did during all of league play, going 6-1 during league play, losing twice today.
But Turbo, he actually came up pretty strong on the offensive side. It was a lot of confusion going on for Northern Gaming during those first 3 games. It seemed like Turbo didn't have a lot of practice coming in because he looked confused when Maestro was like, hey guys, I'm done for the day on Twitter. So it could have been Turbo didn't play it all before this. So coming out in, like versus a team like the Leftovers and still performing pretty decently. With practice, they will still be a team to watch out for at LAN. It's just they're not going to be as strong without Maestro.
Yeah, Turbo, he scored 5 out of the 9 goals, I believe, for Northern. So he did show up, but the love was spread around on the Leftovers. 15 goals total for their team, equal across the board. Each player scoring 5 each. And they just put the pedal to the metal. They didn't let up. I started to get a little bit worried there when they dropped that game, or dropped 2 games, but they ended up closing it out strong. And the Leftovers, an unlikely 3rd place after this crazy EU season.
Yeah, and just an amazing storyline. Again, to reemphasize, anyone just now tuning in, the Leftovers barely came together before the season started, and not only emerging there at LAN, but having a pretty nice regional championship here. A lot of people going to be looking forward to watching them play at the World Championships. And that also sets up a match with them against Tellier. And we're going to do a lot more discussion on that. We're going to show the bracket at the end of the show for the World Championships, but that is certainly coming together. We have one match remaining, the grand final. But first, let's take a look at the bracket to recap you guys on what has happened today. Best of 7s, every single one of these matches, single elimination. And one of the fun trends here is every single match went to at least 6 games.
And that's just the Europe, just how they all play. They're all so tight from seed 1 to seed 6. All these teams are so close. And now it all comes down to Market eSports, the #5 seed versus Flipside, who have been down twice by 2 games in 2 different series and battle back in both of them. So this should be one great final.
Yeah, they certainly don't look like the flip side that we're used to seeing, but we've seen flashes of brilliance today from them. We've seen the plays, but we've also seen some of the fumbling that they've had. But will they show up in the grand finals when it matters most? We saw them with their backs to the wall in the very first series of the day where Resonant was up on them 3-1, and they still managed to fight back. So you can never count Flipside out.
It's a trend we see from Flipside. They thrive in bracket play. No exceptions here, as we have one match remaining before the World Championship LAN. What a delightful season it has been. You're watching the EU Regional Championships. Coming up next, it's the grand final. We have your defending world champions, Flipside Tactics, going up against the surprise of the day, Market eSports, best of 7, coming up next.